This special bulletin in from the National Weather Service. A tornado warning has been issued for the tri-state area. Severe damage is imminent.
In the heat of August, Gino DeMarco and the Golden Tornadoes prepared to take the next step in their bid for national prominence. No longer was Geneva considered an easy W for opposing teams. The Golden Tornadoes were nationally ranked in the NAIA Division II preseason polls. And with returning All-Americans Willie Murray and Ron Michel, Geneva was primed to make their mark on the national small college football landscape. Behind a high-octane offense and a devastating defense, Gino DeMarco and the Golden Tornadoes embarked on a bittersweet quest for excellence.
We had entered the '96 campaign with cautious optimism. We were optimistic because of 18 of 22 returning starters from a very successful '95 season. We were a little concerned about a schedule that was very demanding. 7 of the 9 teams that we played were nationally ranked or in the playoffs in the last 2 years. And we had some key positions on offense that we had to fill. Overall, we felt that if we stayed away from injuries and continued to improve, that we would have a successful season.
In week 1, Geneva traveled to West Liberty to take on the Hilltoppers. Gino DeMarco's high-powered offense opened the season in mid-season form. Willie Murray, Rich McClellan, and Ron Michel picked up where they left off in '95. Defensively, Geneva controlled the Hilltoppers from the outset, punishing West Liberty receivers and running backs alike. Geneva proved worthy of their lofty preseason ranking as the Golden Tornadoes spoiled West Liberty's party 31-12. Gino DeMarco and the Golden Tornadoes traveled to Findlay in week 2 to battle the NAIA Division II defending champion Oilers. Geneva discovered that Findlay gained their status the old-fashioned way. They earned it. Rich McClellan's errant pass gave Findlay a seemingly insurmountable 3-touchdown lead. The Golden Tornado defense stiffened, and the storm would not pass for Findlay so easily. Willie Murray raced 35 yards for a Geneva score to trim the lead to 14. But Findlay countered to maintain their 3-touchdown edge at the half. McClellan found Ron Michel open early in the third quarter to jumpstart Geneva. The Golden Tornadoes' next drive yielded a Mike Gill field goal.
39-yard attempt in a crosswind for Gill. Ball is spotted about the middle of the field, though. Kick is up, it is high, it is long enough, and it's good. Mike Gill puts 3 on the board. It's 28-15. 13-10 left to play here in the third quarter.
But the Oilers once again countered with a big play of their own to stifle the upstart Tornadoes.
Goes down deep in the corner looking for Santamaro. This ball is intercepted down deep. Down the sidelines with a return. Murray comes over trying to make the tackle.
Geneva's quest to unseat #1 Findlay ended in despair as the Oilers sent Geneva packing with a 31-15 loss.
Offensively, we were fortunate to finish again in the top 10 in the country, and we've done so for the last 3 years. Our philosophy is to have a balanced approach. It starts with a running game, and with a running game, you've got to have people up front who are committed to working in the off-season. And I was very impressed with our unit this year. They did a tremendous job in the weight room. Our offensive line, along with our tight ends, provided an opportunity for us to run the football in difficult games. And in the end, that's the thing that makes you successful, is running the football. But the combination of a balanced approach, our play-action passing, enabled us to utilize our receivers and our tight ends. And we have talent at that position where they will take a short play and make it into a big play. When you put that all together, you have an offense, like we had said, that's ranked in the top 10 that produced the school's all-time leading passer and the all-time leading rusher. So offensively, we feel that we're headed in the right direction with our approach.
Like a 5-star general, DeMarco played war games with an offense poised to attack from every possible vantage point. Up front, the offensive line pancaked the opposition with the raw power of a tank division. Aerial attacks were commandeered by skilled technicians named Ron Michel, Mike Holleran, Todd Durish, and Jim Santamaro. Josh Beatley provided quick-hitting ground assaults, while Rich McClellan ably engineered the offensive assault. And when DeMarco needed the tough yard, he turned to a one-man mission of mayhem. Willie Murray. With a plethora of weapons from which to choose, Geneva's offense was poised to attack at will. Geneva welcomed back alumni in Week 3 for their annual homecoming affair. Tiffin provided the opposition for a Geneva squad in search of redemption. Tiffin jumped out in front 7-0 early, only to watch Geneva storm to 31 points in a 15-minute span in the first half. Willie Murray, Mike Gill, Ron Michel, and Rich McClellan all got into the act as Geneva rolled to a 31-7 halftime advantage.
the middle, has received the ball. The ball is caught by Michel at the 25, the 20, on his feet, down inside the 10, the 5, and going to be brought down at the 2-yard line.
Despite a rocky start, Geneva's defense, led by Marty Casper, stifled a potent tip and attack.
Lays it out. This ball is intercepted at the 38-yard line. Back across the 40 to about the 43, maybe the 44. Well, Dasher back into quarterback for Tippin, drops back to throw, and he is going to be sacked, and he is going to be dropped. What a big stick defensively by the Golden Tornadoes.
The Geneva offense added a late touchdown to put an exclamation on the victory as the Tornadoes upped their record to 2-1 with a 47-14 blowout. Rich McClellan burst onto the scene at Urbana, Ohio with his guns blazing. The senior quarterback completed an astounding 87% of his attempts en route to his finest performance to date. To be outdone, senior tailback Willie Murray established Geneva career records for touchdowns with his 35th and points with his 210th. Murray eclipsed the previous marks with a 118-yard effort on only 12 carries.
Late handoff on the draw to Murray. Murray looks for Hole, can't get it, tries to get outside around the right corner, now does. Out across the 40, 45 to the 50. Murray down the sidelines, 40. Murray to the 30. Murray to the 20. They close from behind. Murray to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Willie Murray.
Meanwhile, the Golden Tornado defense, led by Seth Rosenberger's 9 tackles and 2 sacks, posted their first shutout of the year.
Drops straight back, rush from the backside, and boom, they got it. Coming hard was Jason Carter, and Jason Carter just hitting from the backside blitz in a dead run.
All in all, it was a satisfying performance for Geneva as the Golden Tornadoes ripped Urbana 48-zip.
We had entered the Westminster game in a must-win situation. Although we were still ranked in the top 10, this game was for a playoff spot, and it was a pivotal point in our season. We were playing our rival, we were playing at home, and only the second time in over a year, but it was a must-win game. The field conditions were very bad. With that, we took a very conservative approach in our game plan. We wanted to rely on our running game, which was very effective. We wanted to rely on our defense, which we felt played outstanding. And we wanted to win the game on special teams. And in the end, we capitalized on their mistakes, and it proved to be a victory, a game that lasted the full 60 minutes.
1 year ago, Gino DeMarco and the Golden Tornadoes savored the sweet smell of success by defeating Westminster in the regular season for the first time in what seemed like a millennium. 1 year later, the task seemed every bit as daunting as Geneva and Westminster clashed in a battle that held Biddy's conference title implications. Mike Gill broke the ice for Geneva with a 24-yard field goal in the first quarter. Andy Black answered for Westminster with a 1-yard burst that put the Titans up with 12:33 left in the half. Geneva bounced back with another Gill field goal, this time from 43 yards out, followed by a Rich McClellan touchdown in the waning seconds of the second quarter. Gill added a record third field goal, this time from 22 yards out, to stake Geneva to a 15-7 advantage late in the third quarter. But again, Andy Blatt replied with a 21-yard touchdown of his own to draw the Titans to within 2. The balance of the game would turn on a single play, Westminster's attempt for the 2-point conversion.
Westminster trailing by 2. Huda takes it, rolls out right side. Huda, plenty of time, throws it down across the middle. This one is incomplete. The PAT attempt is no good. Geneva clings to a 2-point lead, 15-13, 1:59 to play.
The Titans would never touch the football again as Rich McClellan rolled to a Geneva first down to run out the clock. On the rain-drenched Reeves Stadium turf, the Golden Tornadoes ran their winning streak over Westminster to 2 with an emotional 15-13 win. With the pain of last year's last-second playoff loss to Malone ringing in their ears, Geneva trekked back to the scene of the crime in search of redemption. Geneva seemed well on their way in the first half, offsetting a Malone punt return for a touchdown with 3 scores of their own. Rich McClellan found Ken Klemensick for the G-Men's opening score. Then went to All-American Ron Michel to put Geneva out in front. If the first half belonged to Geneva, the second half was surely Malone's. Following 2 more Mike Gill field goals, Shane Nalepa took control as the senior quarterback engineered 3 consecutive scoring drives to put Malone in front late in the fourth quarter.
4 receivers out there. Nalepa will run up across the 35, down to the 30. Nalepa to the outside, 25. Nalepa to the 20. Nalepa to the 15, 10-5. Nalepa into the end zone, touchdown Malone.
Unbelievable what Nalepa did on the far side of the field.
But a Nalepa fumble, forced by a vicious tornado hit, led to a go-ahead field goal, and Geneva seemed to control its fate with just 56 seconds left in the game.
Gill to attempt the kick. The clock is stopped at 59 seconds. The kick is on its way. The kick is up. The kick is long, and the kick is good. Geneva takes the lead. Geneva goes up 25-23 with 56 seconds left on the clock. The Tornadoes take the lead. Mr. Ice, Mike Gill, steps up and does what he is expected to do.
Shane Nalepa would once again write a happy ending for Malone as he heaved a sensational pass to Damon Kimbrough to set up a last-second field goal.
There's the rush. The kick is up. The kick is on its way. The kick is long. The kick is good. Malone takes the lead again with 9 seconds on the clock. The Pioneers take the lead 26-25. It could be 3 games in a row that the Tornadoes lose by a single point.
Despite winning virtually every statistical category, the outcome provided bitter deja vu for Gino DeMarco and a disappointed Geneva College football team.
Defensively, we were able again to finish in the top 10 nationally, which we've done in the last couple of years. And it all starts with our front 8. They did a great job of stopping the run. We also are able to play man-to-man with the people that we have in the secondary, so that enables us to do some blitzing. Again, we used a balanced approach on defense. We will attack the offense or sit back and play zone. But the bottom line is you've got to have people on that side of the ball who want to play. And we feel that we've got 15 people that we count, quote-unquote, as starters that got it done this year.
DeMarco preached aggression on defense, and his charges delivered with zeal. Up front, Paul Horsing, Seth Rosenberger, John Schmidt, and Blaise Karlovic attacked both quarterbacks and ball carriers alike. Meanwhile, the linebacking core of Marty Casper, Scott Slater, Dan Gardner, and Jack O'Neill took pleasure in dishing out punishment. And John Rhodes, Jason Carter, Demond Moore, Brian Burton, Chris Hall, Cecil Brazos, and Gary Sharp roamed the secondary in search of bone-jarring tackles and game-changing turnovers. Together, The Geneva defense was one bad unit bent on destruction. Tri-State slapped Geneva in the face in Week 7 with an opening drive for a score. Tri-State's early insolence may have provided the catalyst for an old-fashioned Golden Tornado football bash. Quarterback Rich McClellan enjoyed a breakout day, completing 18 passes for 300 yards.
McClellan, play action, back to throw on first down, goes for it all, has Holleran wide open down the middle, and Holleran with the catch of the 15, 10-5, into the end zone, touchdown Geneva.
Mike Holleran turned in his best performance to date, hauling in touchdown passes of 55 and 13 yards.
McClellan takes it, drop back, lays it out quickly. The ball is going to be caught by Hollander. 15 down to the 10, breaks the tackle, Holland for the 5, Holland to the end zone, touchdown.
While McClellan's go-to guy, Ron Michel, pulled in 9 tosses for 106 yards.
Takes the snap and drops back. Pumps once, rush comes, dumps it off. Goes deep for Michel in the end zone. Ron Michel with a catch.
Meanwhile, Jason Carter batted down 2 passes and stymied 8 rushing attempts to headline a superb defensive effort.
Comes the pitch to Beatley. He'll sweep wide, left side. Beatley to 10, down to the 5. Hurdles one man. Beatley into the end zone. Touchdown, Geneva.
Geneva got back on the playoff track with a convincing 45-14 win over Tri-State. The Golden Tornadoes weathered cold temperatures and gusting winds in North Canton, Ohio, to keep their playoff hopes alive. Willie Murray and his backfield counterpart, Josh Beatley, found the conditions to their liking as the New Brighton duo amassed nearly 200 yards. Once again, the Geneva defense turned in a hearty effort, limiting high-flying DeMont Gaines to under 100 yards. Seth Rosenberger stymied Walsh's rushing attack, while DeMond Moore broke up pass after pass. Rich McClellan added a pair of touchdown trots, 186 yards in total passing, to put the finishing touches on a convincing 24-7 Geneva win. With the death of Brian Brazos, younger brother of junior cornerback Cecil Brazos, fresh in each Golden Tornado's memory, Geneva set out to compete against Trinity at their highest level with their love of Cecil and in memory of Brian.
McClellan, play action, fake to Murray, lets it fly, goes deep down the sideline. He has receiver up to Michel with the catch into 20, 10-5, into the end zone, touchdown, Geneva.
Geneva's high-octane offense stormed Trinity for 406 total yards with the triplets, Murray, McClellan, and Michel leading the way. as Cecil Brazos watched on the sidelines, Geneva's defense punished Trinity with abandon. On this day, a playoff berth was a secondary motive for Gino DeMarco and the Golden Tornadoes. The final margin of victory stands as a testament to cornerback Cecil Brazos and a loss that deeply touched the entire Geneva family.
After the Findlay game, we obviously had mixed emotions. It was satisfying to go back to Findlay to fulfill a goal that we had set in the locker room after the first Findlay loss. And our players overcame a lot of adversity to get back to the playoffs, which is a tremendous accomplishment. But I think we got a true picture of what a champion's about. Findlay is a defending national champion. They took advantage of our mistakes. They played extremely well in the third quarter. And a combination of us being injured and having the flu, 15 out of 22 of our starters were either sick or hurt. The bottom line was, though, they overcame the adversity that day. They were the better football team. And I think we got a picture of what the standard of a champion is all about.
Geneva's selection to play in the NAIA Division II playoffs set up a good news, bad news scenario. The good news, Geneva was invited to the NAIA postgame party for the second straight year. The bad news, the party would be thrown by the NAIA's top-ranked Findlay Oilers. For the better part of 30 minutes, Geneva played Findlay on even terms. But the game turned on Findlay coach Dick Stram's decision to forego a three-point field goal with 31 seconds left in the half, an attempt to crack Geneva's end zone. The gamble paid off with 2 seconds left as Bo Hurley found Jason Hamby wide open to run Findlay's lead to 10. Geneva never recovered from the blow, and the Golden Tornadoes suffered the sting of defeat at the hands of Findlay for the second time in a single season.
This group of seniors will definitely go down as one of the best in the history of Geneva football. They came in and set a standard, winning almost 80% of the regular season games in the last 3 years, established Reeves Field as a special place to play. We've not lost a home game in 2 years. And the competition in the NAIA, we've not lost to an NAIA team outside the top 10 in the last 4 years. So this group has something to be proud of. They've left a legacy. They've set the standard for future classes.
When the summer sun gives way to the chill of autumn, some men choose to play football. And of those men, but a few will run faster, hit harder, throw farther, and fly with all the grace and glory of their God-given talent. At Geneva College, these men are named McClellan, Durish, McCreary, Casper, and Murray. They will long be remembered as the men who were not content to merely perform, but who chose to play football with all the fervor and joy that their hearts could muster. It is to these men and all the seniors who changed the way Geneva College plays football that we dedicate the 1996 season. a bittersweet quest for excellence.